Oh, sir.
Oh, yeah.
But, excuse me. Did we do a hat today? Not this one. Maybe that guy? Oh, yeah, let's do that guy. Let's do this today. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that today. I like that. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I do. I do and do and do indeed. Yes, 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 yes. You ready for this new introduction? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. MiSuNDERStoOd 2. Day 20. Terrence Taylor talks too much. Ha! Yes, he does. Talks too much international speaking and coaching. Take one. Action. Yes. 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 You notice the difference? Did you hear it? No more I want my change. Not for this. Not for this no more. It will exist just not right now. I'll get to tell you why very soon. Oh, I didn't get the time. I got 140. We got 144. We in business, baby. I'm really digging this afternoon session. I like the afternoon. It's also a Sunday. Hello, good day. It's also a Sunday, but there's something about the ease into the weekend vibe recordings that I'm feeling. And on the during the week energy, up, rise, bang, boom. Get to it, get it done. Off we go. I like this ease into the day vibe that we have going on this lovely, beautiful, whatever day it is that you're listening to it. It doesn't matter. You're here and you're alive and you have ears and they work. Or you have eyes and you're reading this. Either way, viewing, watching, experiencing, bruh, welcome, hi, yay. I'm Terrence Taylor. This is MiSuNDERStoOd, Deucey Deuce. I am here with just like a fucking epic feeling on my inside, yo. I gotta be honest with you. Like this whole process of what's going on, which is what we got on our topic list for today, is bringing my soul so much fucking joy, man. Oh, man. Today I got 3 for you. Reassessing the plan, because man, oh man, light bulbs have been going off, bing, bing, bow, all day. A's and Q's. What's A's and Q's? Yeah. You're going to find out. And the Do the Workbook. That is, oh, nope. Wait. Don't give it to him too soon, big dog. Okay, got you. Yes. Before I get to teasing it too much, I'm going to ease right in. Nope. Hopping in. Housekeeping for today. I told you about an app that I'm using in my Google Workspace to help improve productivity, visual accomplishments, and workflow, making things happen. That's called Taskboard. Taskboard is the app. It don't matter, like I said yesterday, what you use, but I'm using Taskboard. It is pretty damn simple. And I told you the name today because I did not tell you the name yesterday. There you go. Bang, boom. I should have almost saved this for a deep dive, but we about to dive into some shit today. So I'm going to just lob it out there. I'm going to throw out the light teaser. I'm going to let it float into the ethos, and you do with it as you please. There's a beautiful man by the name of Ryan Leslie, who I have been following, enjoying his journey, his creative process, his ability to manifest his ideas, to be ahead of the curve, to just be amazing. And if you're familiar with Nipsey's Proud to Pay initiative movement, it was about, yeah, I'm gonna get you to spend this money, this larger kind of amount of money on my product. But it was really about gaining information and understanding your customers and who fucks with you and where they are and how to contact them. And Ryan Leslie has had a wonderful blueprint of doing that. So when I find people who are fascinated in that way of delivering things, I'm always like, yo, how do they do that? What is the behind the brain of that thing that happened? How did that become? And there's this legendary video on YouTube, Ryan Leslie Makes Addiction. And this is when I talk about this show being a part of, like, y'all are experiencing me in real time, go through the process, figure things out, and come up with shit and then put it out. That's behind the scenes. This video is the behind the scenes of Ryan Leslie making this amazing song. And man, there's a process that, I don't know, bro. Sometimes you don't know what it takes to make something. A lot of times we don't know what it takes to make things. But once you learn how to make a chicken nugget or a hot dog or a sausage, you may or may not want to go about experiencing that thing anymore. The opposite can happen when you see how something comes together and you're like, oh shit, I want to do that. And now I see how that's done. Oh man, that's what this video is. You see this man create this song from the drums to the keys to the vocals to all the other funky, cool, beautiful instruments that make this song what it is. He flips it with this cool, like, freestyled, creative thing at the end. And you follow him from like 4 PM till the next morning as this masterpiece comes together. And it's the documentation of this process. And I encourage everybody to go check it out. It's a YouTube video. Ryan Leslie Makes Addiction. And if that doesn't, like, ignite your inner creative soul, if that doesn't make you want to go do some shit, bro, I don't know what you made out of. But that shit is powerful. And it is what's led me into essentially where my brain is at, me going through my own creative process, and where that has landed us. So boom, I'm transition king right now. Let's go. Our first topic of the day. Reassessing the plan, going through the creative process and having to reconfigure, reassess, further understand, challenge, try, undo, try again, fail. I have been the reason why this wasn't introduced today as I want my change, is because the plan has changed. Of course it has. Duh. And I've seen a bit more clearly how the content that I'm creating and the services that I'm offering, how they so obviously line up. And it's really about piecing that puzzle together. And I had a bit of a breakthrough yesterday in seeing that and feeling that I've been creating all the content to live and exist under I want my change. And then I'm going through creating the tiers of what the Patreon is offering. And as I go through that, I realize, oh, okay, this is in fact, and as I'm saying this now, it feels so obvious, and it is very obvious, but sometimes when you're going through the process, like some of the things that you've written, I've even written them down and I know to do them. You kind of just like go through the, I don't even want to call it you're not going about the wrong way. You just, sometimes you do steps out of order. And there's something about doing that's great, but also you have this moment that I'm having now of like, oh, I should have just done that a little bit differently. I'm not mad at it because of how it played out, but I can see very obviously like, oh, that step was definitely supposed to come before that one. And you probably could have saved some money and some time not even doing that like that. So what am I talking about? Okay, so I got a Google Workspace for I Want My Change. I'm thinking, all right, this is the show. This is what I'm going to use to bring people in. This is the main plan, the platform. All right, cool. I want my change. That's it. But that's only a weekly show. All right. As we're doing this MiSuNDERStoOd 2, you're going, well, that's another show that at the start of this wasn't even really part of the plan as a consistent thing. But now that I'm seeing the 1, necessity, 2, impact of it, 3, how it's a whole other, and it's another show, so it's another revenue stream. All right, cool. How we break that out? Okay. And then wham. As I went through that, oh man, the pilot of that, and saw that it really took me 2.5, almost 3 hours to go through that plan, and realizing, oh, well, maybe there's some of that I could extract and keep and use on its own. All right, well, that question answer segment is good. It'll be really good. And that's the reason it exists, is as a prime engagement of back and forth. But what if it didn't exist within the I Want My Change show and it existed as its own show? Because me answering questions is me basically being a consultant or a coach for somebody, teacher for somebody. All right, well, if I'm doing that, like very specifically one-on-one, that's actually totally different than coming up with stories, telling, the framework of storytelling, and then sharing content and information I think is useful. Like it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So, all right, what is that? All right, well, now it's just the Q&A segment is its own show. All right, well, now we need to create a branding template for that, because I had another idea of, I'll just do some random segments and talk about such and such for a short period of time, and I'll put that out every Thursday. Like, that doesn't make sense, because I'm talking about random topics throughout kind of everything else. So it doesn't make sense for that to exist on its own. But the Q&A segment actually makes perfect sense to exist on its own. All right, so cool. Swap those. Now you have a Thursday show, which means you need to create a plan for what that looks like. So this idea that was the bank is now A's and Q's. And I went through the process of designing the branding for that. And because what was happening was I was building the Patreon banner. And I looked up what that needs to look like. And I found 3 cool templates. And the third one was Issa Rae's. And it had Issa Rae Presents. I was like, oh, okay. So this is not so much I want my change. This is me. And the Patreon page is actually people subscribing to me. It's not so much people subscribing to the show I want my change. And then once I reframed it as this is me presenting X, it was, oh, I'm actually presenting I Want My Change, which is the Tuesday show. It's presenting MiSuNDERStoOd 2, which is the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's me presenting A's and Q's, which is the Thursday show. I'm like, okay, I get it now. So that all came together like so beautifully. I sat on the couch last night and designed a logo. I started in the afternoon, had some snacks, watched some TV, took a nap, woke up, finished it. And I'll actually show you kind of where it started and how it got to where it got. I always think that's a great process of how you get a design, how you find I go on defont.com and type in what I want it to look like, lowercase, uppercase, and then I see all the designs. I screenshot the ones I want. I piece those all together. I see them all on one page. I pick the ones I want, and then I go to Photoshop and I start piecing it together, changing colors, sizes, adding this, adding that. So I'll give you a little peek at what that process looked like. And once I arrived at that, I was like, all right, dope. So I have my 5 days of the week shows. I have my Monday to Friday content covered. MiSuNDERStoOd 2, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I Want My Change Tuesday. That's the only thing that's free. It goes out audio on all the platforms. Bet. And then Thursday, I have A's and Q's. And at any point, I could put out a free version of this on YouTube for people to see and then get them over to Patreon to purchase. Great. But the whole premise of this is cover the 5 days and have one thing that's in its longest form that goes out free, and then come up with short versions of everything else to put on YouTube to promote, to get people to Patreon. Got it. And if it's me presenting all of these shows, perfect. Light bulbs go off nutty. So now I start looking at A's and Q's because, like I've said, everything that exists is all meant to lead to something else. The content drives a service. This show exists so that it can drive traffic to this service to purchase this thing. That's the whole goal. All right, so A's and Q's is answers and questions. People asking me something, I give them an answer. That's coaching. All right, cool. That's one-on-one coaching. All right, cool. What else do I have in my service offering? What services do I have, and what content ideas do I have that I can go, that connects to that, and let's do that and do something with that? What are the things that I've created over the last 4 years that in just the process of creating, I've stumbled upon something great? And bing ching, light bulb goes off wild. And I realize that I created Andrew Mukama and Rising Youth, we all, maybe 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, came up with the farewell signing off piece of tangibility for anyone who had a Rising Youth grant to be able to take that project to the next level. Rising Youth is shutting down. They want a legacy piece. We create the Do the Workbook. It's a 50-ish page activity book, 5-episode podcast that goes through the activities, talks through them, and I have conversations. We work through the answers together. We discuss our thoughts and feels. At the end of the book and the end of the activities, you have answer keys, you've got email draft templates, you've got proposal templates, you got mental health activities, this beautiful configuration of, yo, I have this idea, I want to make it bigger, or if I have an idea in my head and I want to try to do something with it, here's a place to start. So that exists. That was, we're showing that to, and I show that to the folks at the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce goes, that would be really good for LSI, which is Labor Skills Initiative or something like that. Something to do with training and giving people information to grow their skills, build business, find employment, etc. So we're like, So that turned into me realizing, okay, I have this workbook, but it was done primarily for, youth with an idea. But now I have adults looking at it going, yo, this could work for anyone. All right. Now I adapt that workbook into it was referred to as, at the time and still currently, the Community Communication Toolkit. And it was a bit of that. There was also like a business development workbook. I had a few things that I was like, I can repurpose this into an in-person experience that also has, activities, the same as this book had activities, but we're in COVID, we created for it to exist online. But if I were to take this thing, what does the in-person experience of delivering this material look like? Okay. And then what if it's about, because it had mental health activities and self-discovery activities and, oh, you want to build a brand? Well, what do you care about? And, what have you always, so I was like, okay, there's a bit of like some learning in there. We can do group activities. And if we're learning storytelling and there's a group, well, now there's a competition. And so I built this elaborate in-person activity out, in-person experience, workshop-ish. It was great. And I had a client for it, a government client. And it was, I'd never done it before. So I really was in real time, like trying to configure this thing that I knew had legs into something and somebody who at the time was like, yeah, I'll pay for that. That's cool. So I worked through that. It doesn't manifest, but it gets me to thinking like, all right, well, that was one client and delivering that to a group of 30 people. All right, well, what is the online version of that? And if I want to offer group coaching because I'm offering one-on-one Q&As, then what is the amped up version of that? It's coming up with a group coaching experience. Well, what does a group coaching experience look like? Oh, that could be a live stream. Ding. Do I not have a monthly live coaching service that I'm offering through the Patreon? Of course I do. So now my brain says, All right. Take the do the workbook, build that out into a live coaching experience. Well, if you're going to offer this coaching experience monthly, this is the initial thought, then what do 12 sessions look like? This workbook had 5 activities. All right, well, what would 12 activities look like? What does delivering that look like? What is the curriculum? Because now I'm back in my teacher bag. Spent all this time teaching grade 9 and 12 students English. Yeah, but how many lesson plans did you have to create in that process? All right, cool. So same thing. What are the 12 lessons that you could take this, do the workbook, adapt it into a live coaching experience, and then build off of that, and then turn that into a new version of the workbook that's actually based on 12 activities that you spend 12 months working with people in a live coaching setting, testing everything you have, and then at the end of that, coming up with another product to sell. Oh, that makes sense. So that's kind of that's been my brain in reassessing kind of like what I need to do. And then that essentially, that monthly coaching session is another show that's offered through the Patreon. Right, that's where this all comes back to me sitting here going, all right, I need a Patreon banner. Issa Rae presents, Terrence Taylor presents. All right, I have this show Monday, these shows Monday, cool. But I have this 1 month thing. What is that? All right, I got 3 lines, and I got 2 long line logos. I got a small one. I'm like, I need another small one. Do the workbook. All right, so I got the live coaching set. I got the one-on-one question answer, and I got the live coaching group experience. Perfect. They sit on the same lines together. 1, 2, 3, 4 services, 4 shows, everything leading back to purchasing services at TerrenceTalksTooMuch.com. That was, it's like been the last 12 hours. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good about just the clarity. Clarity is earned. That was my message today, because you don't get to just, these light bulb moments. You might feel like, oh, they just came out of nowhere, but it's like, nah. The truth is, I made this thing almost 2 years ago that's just been sitting here, and I've been trying to figure out what the next step is. It's not, oh, I just came up with the idea today. Nah, we put in mad work, mad hours. Do you have any idea how many podcasts I've done that I can, on my own platform, put out and just haven't? We did a whole season, second season of Changing the Narrative with Rising Youth, and I only interviewed Black people who use the Rising Youth grant system. That's it. It's like 8 episodes. They're all through Zoom, so they were annoying for me as a producer. But Rising Youth put them all out. I did, cool, I did them. Here you go. 9 episodes of Tell Two People pilot that are just sitting in a hard drive here that no one will ever see, unless, of course, we figure that out. But like, I didn't just accidentally stumble on this production looking like this. We didn't just get all of this fucking gear just happenstance the last few months. Like, nah, this has been a lot of work. But the realization in a lot of cases is, yo, you don't have to do more things. You really don't. Like, the way that I there's just so many things. It's not even about coming up with something new. It's about what is the thing you've already done and how do you attach and tie that to something that you have here? What are the pieces? Like it's why I need whiteboards, because I need to see the things, because I need to like physically draw lines to connect things. I need to touch this and put it here. It has to be moved physically. In here, it just swirls and it, I can't grab it. But if I could see it, I could touch it, I could feel it, I could hold it, I could understand it, I could connect it. From there, it's like, oh, I see it. I'm really starting to see, oh, so what I was talking about earlier with the starting in one space and should have started the other. Everything was under I want my change.com, but it's like, no, that's not it. But it's okay that I have iwantmychange.com, because this is the free version of the thing that's going out. And yeah, that's fine. That's cool. It began as this, but it's really bigger than that. Oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, because you've created all these things that are really more than just this show, I Want My Change. Like, that's cool. But that's really a part of this universe of, and that's, what 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson has done with Power Universe, which is clearly an inspiration off of what The Wire did in those 5 seasons and telling 5 different stories. And then if The Wire were to take that and like, you could see it, Marvel Universe, you could see it, you could see the blueprint, creating one thing and then understanding how that helps ripple to build the other things. It's like, yeah, bro, like, so it's not something new. It's like, yo, whatever it is you're trying to do, I bet you if you're doing what you care about and you're me watching TV, understanding shows and distribution and why this show isn't on anymore, like all that plays value and adds value and plays into my decision making of figuring out what to do and how to do it and where this should go and why I would use this platform and why I would want it to go there. And like it all connects. If you're studying the game and you're looking at it in a multitude of ways and you're just doing different things that all align, that's the thing. Like what you're doing, it doesn't have to all match, but it does have to align. And if it aligns, the lines of clarity are easier to see. You could do, like, when I first started, this is back in 2017, Andy Hines was here, filmmaker, music video producer, and he's Grammy nominated, and he was here talking to us and a bunch of creative people. And I asked him, like, yo, how do I want to do this, but I want to do that. And it all overlaps, but like they're all kind of different. Like, what one should I do? He was like, yo, pick one. Just pick one and do that. And I was like, okay. I see for him in the film world how being a music video producer is the equivalent of pick one. Do that and figure that out. All right, cool, I get that. But for me, it was like pick between video and podcasting at the time. And I was like, I can't. Now you look at the podcast scene and you go, why would anyone do podcasts without video? And then if it's podcast with video, now it's not podcast anymore. It's some other next level broadcast. We're in a different space when the shit looks like this. So if you're into the things that you're into, they can be different, but do they align? Is there a space or can you align them? If there's not a clear that goes with that, then how do you do that? What is your own saucy way of making these things come together? And if you figure that part out, then learn a bunch of, like, Kobe studied sharks to guard Allen Iverson. It might seem like, what? Nah. quick movements, agility. How do you respond to like that? It aligns. It's different, but it aligns. So, yeah, what you got going on that's in the same space, but if you tied that to this and this to that and remix that, wow, out of here. What does that look like for you? I'm figuring it out for me. This last 24 hours has been a very, very, very beautiful, insightful, clear understanding of what the fuck is happening. And that is very, very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Ah, yeah. Yeah. That was cold. That was cold. I just want to go back to work now. I just want to go back upstairs and open my laptop and get to it. But yeah, I got to rewrite some blurbs. I got to rewrite some infos and bios. And yeah, if everything started off as I want my change is, no, this is a little different. I want my change is this. A's and Q's is this. MiSuNDERStoOd is this. Do the workbook is this. Wham. Clarity. That's what I got for you today. I told you, I reassessed my plan. This shit is smooth gravy. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Oh, man. Go watch Ryan Leslie. I bet you won't sit on your ass and do nothing after you watch that. I bet you. And I would love to hear what people created after watching Ryan Leslie. Tell me, share with me. You watched it and then you went and did what? I don't care if you made a cake, cooked something delicious, or fucking made an origami. What did you do? What process did you dive into and have some fun with? Tell me. Tell me now. Not right now, because I'm out of here. I'm Terrence Taylor. This is MiSuNDERStoOd. Bye for now.
My daddy makes out. And his name is Terrence Taylor. And I took those pictures.